It's opening day, and we're going to be telling you our predictions for the 2023 MLB season. Let's do it. Welcome to the Normal Baseball 2023 MLB Season Predictions episode. I'm Alex Normal Dog, that's Lewis, and today we are going to be giving all of our predictions for the 2023 MLB season, including who we think will win the AL and NL MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, and more. Stay tuned until the end to find out what we think the World Series matchup will be and which team we think will end up on top as World Series champions come November. If you wind up enjoying this episode and what we're all about, make sure you subscribe and leave a like so that we can keep you updated with all the things baseball throughout the entire 2023 MLB season. And with that, let's begin.
Let's jump into it.
Lewis, are you excited for the 2023 season?
I'm ready to go bananas, baby.
How excited are you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, about 200 million right now.
Okay.
And we are not even to Thursday yet at the time of this recording. So expect that number to at least triple by the time that we get to Thursday.
There you go. Again, we hope you guys enjoy. Let us know your predictions for the 2023 MLB season in the comments below. Let's get into it. Let's do it. I am beyond excited. Beyond excited. We begin with our first prediction, which is an award that is given to the most outstanding rookie in their respective league. It has been won in the American League by all-time greats such as Ichiro Suzuki, Cal Ripken Jr., and Derek Jeter, along with current studs like Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, and Yordan Alvarez. In the National League, legends like Jeff Bagwell, Johnny Bench, and Mike Piazza, as well as current stars like Pete Alonso and Ronald Acuna Jr. have taken it home. This award personifies the young studs in the game of baseball to highlight their incredible rookie season. It, of course, is the Rookie of the Year award.
Are we getting an intro like this for every award?
A few of them, a couple of them. I prepared some stuff. So we're going to start with the American League, then move to the National League. We're going to say our pick, reiterate on it a little bit, kind of say some things about our picks.
Have some banter, if you will.
I'm very, very excited.
Let's do it. Jump right in.
So, with the American League, my pick for Rookie of the Year. Well, first we should reiterate. Last year, the Rookie of the Year winner for the AL was Julio Rodriguez. So, this will be the man following up Julio Rodriguez. My pick for the AL Rookie of the Year winner is Anthony Volpe of the New York Yankees. He hasn't played a single game in Major League Baseball yet. He will be on opening day. He's going to be the Yankees' starting shortstop. He has big shoes to fill. Not in the sense of you're filling in for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, because those are very tiny shoes to fill.
Oh my God, he said it.
But it's more of the Yankees shortstop position as a whole. The last Yankee shortstop, obviously, Derek Jeter, the last generational one. We've had Didi Gregorius since then, was really the other notable one.
God bless Didi.
But Volpe's got a big spot to play in this lineup for this entire season. He's the Yankees' number 1 overall prospect and the number 5 overall prospect in all of baseball. In the minors last season, he played 132 games, batted .249 with 21 homers, 35 doubles, and 50 stolen bases. If we can see speed like that this season, it's going to be dangerous. And in spring training, he went off, which is how he earned this role. He earned the opening day, starting shortstop role. He hit .302 in 18 games with an over 1 OPS, a 1 OPS, 3 homers, 6 doubles, 5 steals. And the defense is still there, and he's young. He has time to get better. I'm very much looking forward to seeing Anthony Volpe this season for the New York Yankees.
All right. I like it.
Thank
Good
you.
choice.
Thank you.
As for my pick to win the American League Rookie of the Year, I am also going to go with Anthony Volpe.
Wow.
We're a little bit biased, I must admit.
Listen.
However, the tools are all there. He has the unlimited potential, and although people are saying that he does have big shoes to fill, I mean, he's coming in to play shortstop in the New York market, following up basically, the all-time great that was and still is, Derek Jeter, basically, to be the next generational talent at the shortstop position in the Yankees organization. Everyone's saying, everyone needs to realize that, he needs to succeed in all that, or he needs to be the next Jeter. He needs to be worth it compared to all the guys that the Yankees passed up on. The way that I look at it is he needs to be the first Anthony Volpe. And I think that that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to play the game his way, get it done, and I am more than looking forward to hopefully being right about this prediction.
Yeah, no, Volpe, up until a couple days ago, I had a different pick. But when I found out they were going to start him on opening day and give him this opportunity, I love Volpe. I think he's the guy to do it, and I think he will do it. So I'm very, very excited for Anthony Volpe. Very, very excited to see what he can do. And
well, you can't just tease us like that. Who was your pick prior to Anthony Volpe?
Because
I also had a pick before him.
Prior to Anthony Volpe, I had guys like, Gunnar Henderson were in mind. Gunnar Henderson was kind of like the top guy on my mind just because, he's the top prospect in baseball. It's kind of as simple as that. Who'd you have in mind?
I had Hunter Brown. I was expecting him to come up fully this season. He would be qualified as a rookie this year, although he did pitch a little bit last year. But I expected him to come up in that Astros organization that we know is so good at developing prospects that he could come in and really succeed. And that was who I thought up until Anthony Volpe did get the call.
I don't hate it because I think we obviously know all the stuff with Hunter Brown and his mechanics that are similar to that of Justin Verlander, guy who just won a Cy Young last season. I like the shout. I do.
Yeah.
I had Gunnar Henderson mostly just because, top prospect, which not that I'm saying that's a good way to base your Rookie of the Year, picks on, but that's, just kind of what I was thinking. I didn't look too far into it because once I found out that Volpe was starting, I was like, well, that's what I'm going with. Yeah. That's AL Rookie of the Year. Do you have any other notable rookies that you just want to look out for, or you think Volpe's that guy, he's going to run away with it? Do you think it's going to be close?
I definitely think it's going to be close. I think between especially Volpe and Gunnar Henderson, depending on how the season goes, because obviously they are everyday players, and as we saw last year in the National League, which we're going to be talking about in a second here, Spencer Strider should have and could have won the the Rookie of the Year, had it not been for Michael Harris Jr. playing every day. So that's the way that I'm looking at it. That's the way that I'm going into this pick. So, go give them hell. Let the kids play.
Let the kids play. This award really does personify, let the kids play. These are the young guys in the game, unless, you get a guy like Shohei Ohtani, or even this year, comparable, and last year was Seiya Suzuki. Now we get Masataka Yoshida, who is going to be a stud for the Red Sox all season. There have been concerns with some different park dimensions and playing in Fenway since he's a lefty and all that, but Yoshida's going to be really good this year too. So there's a lot of rookies to look out for this year. There's guys that just seemingly come out of nowhere, guys like Stephen Barry Bonds Kwan, who would have thought last season that he would just come out of nowhere and do what he did. It's certainly a good thing to watch. The young guys are always fun. Do we want to move on to our National League?
Of course. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
All right. So you can go first for this one.
So for my National League Rookie of the Year pick, if you at all know how much I love my prospects and how much I value not only the major league level of baseball, but the lower levels within the minor leagues, I think it's pretty cut and dry for me that the winner of the 2022 NL Rookie of the Year award, in my opinion, is going to be going to Corbin Carroll of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I like it. Do you want to reiterate before I say my pick?
Yeah, he has the tools. He did play a little bit last year up in the big leagues. He looked pretty good over the course of 32 games, had an 830 OPS with 8 walks, 2 steals, couple of triples, 4 homers, 27 hits for a 260 average. Give me a full season of Corbin Carroll seeing only MLB pitching, and I think we're talking about one of the better outfielders in the National League come season end.
I like it. You know who my pick was?
Go ahead and give it to me.
My pick was Corbin Carroll. Number one overall prospect, Diamondbacks. Number 2 overall prospect in baseball, I believe.
Yes.
He tore it up in the minors last season. Last season in the minors, he 93 games. He batted .307 with a 1. OPS, 1.036 to be exact. He had 24 homers, 22 doubles, 8 triples. He's just got speed. He's got the contact. He even has a bit of power in there, which is always something you love to see. And he tore it up in spring training. He batted .370 in spring training with a 1.122 OPS. He had 3 triples in spring training.
Yeah.
Just absolutely wild.
The kid's got wheels.
Yeah, Corbin Carroll he's going to go off this year. And I think it's going to be very fun to watch.
For sure. Now, I will say, before we continue on, I did have a prior pick. I did have a front runner in my mind prior to all of the last-minute roster changes going on within every team's organization. And prior to this guy being optioned to AAA rather than the MLB squad, which I think I can speak for their entire fan base when I say, what the hell were they thinking? I originally had thought of Brett Beatty.
Okay.
However, of the New York Mets, that is. However, I do think that the Mets are going to keep him down a little bit too long, that he won't be able to gain as much traction as a guy like Corbin Carroll will be able to, since he will be starting opening day. And one more thing, just want to give a shout out to Jordan Walker, who will definitely be within this conversation and has a very equal shot to win this thing as much as any other rookie. Looking forward to seeing what he can do this season. I mean, had it not been for a shortened COVID year in 2020, we would be talking about how he would be one of the best AAA prospects in baseball.
Yeah.
So, Jordan Walker has just as equal an opportunity. However, I believe we're in agreement that Corbin Carroll does have this award as of right now.
Yeah, I had Corbin Carroll really, really high, obviously, but Jordan Walker was almost right there with him.
Yep.
I see Jordan Walker as an incredible player. I think what he is going to bring is going to be unmatched. I'm extremely excited to watch both of them because they might not be the same height, but they are similar in the aspect of they're kind of these all-around players who can hit for average power, and they have very good speed. Obviously, no one has as much speed as Corbin Carroll, but they're very similar players in all those same aspects. For me, it just comes down to who I kind of liked more, and I liked Corbin Carroll more. He has that big league experience already. He's gotten his first major league home run out of the way. He's got his first, RBIs. He's got 30 games in the show, or rather, yeah, he's got, I believe, 30 games in the show. 32 games in the show so far. So he's got all that out of the way. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah. Clap it up for
I do think
National League rookies.
I truly do think that Corbin Carroll is going to win it this season. I think he's going to run away with it towards, August.
Quite literally, by the way. Corbin Carroll, fastest player in baseball.
Round of applause for Corbin Carroll. Love it. So, moving on to our second award. Our second award prediction, rather, is Coach of the Year.
Correct.
We got Coaches of the Year for the AL and the NL. Sometimes this is kind of a toss-up award, in my opinion. Sometimes it goes to
the best record.
And sometimes it goes to the most surprising team and their manager, just because, they figure, this team wasn't supposed to be good. They were good. It's got to be the manager. Something like that.
Right.
Or just, the most exciting team. It could go by so many different factors. It's kind of crazy. But we're going to pick ours.
Yeah.
This is kind of a prediction.
It would be.
Sorry, I didn't have an intro for this one prepared.
That's fine.
Do you want to give your American League Coach of the Year prediction first?
All right. So for my American League Coach of the Year or Manager of the Year, whatever you want to call it, it could be either one. The winner that I have is Terry Francona of the Cleveland Guardians. I think it's kind of his award to lose going into this season now that we know what the Guardians are capable of, and with a balanced schedule for all 30 MLB teams, we're going to be talking about a Cleveland Guardians team that's going to be able to keep up a lot more, I think, with the rest of baseball.
Okay. I like it. So that's the extent of your pick?
Yeah, that is the extent of my pick. He has all the tools,
Okay.
both offensively and on the mound.
Won it this season, right? Last season he won it?
I think he did.
Yeah. My pick is a little different. Mine is going to go to Bruce Bochy of the Texas Rangers. First season with the Texas Rangers. And I think, on paper they have a very, very good team, and I think everyone kind of knows that. But when you kind of sit back, I don't think that many people are actually saying, hey, the Rangers are going to be good this season. Hey, the Rangers are going to make the playoffs. Hey, the Rangers are going to be beating some good teams this season. I don't think as many people are saying that. And I think that they're going to kind of hit baseball with that aspect of surprise.
Okay.
And that's usually how they base these this award on, at least, who kind of surprised. And I think they'll kind of, considering the Rangers were so bad last season, and they didn't really add much to their lineup itself, just kind of their pitching staff a little bit, and their bullpen still isn't great. I think taking all of those things into account, they're going to see, hey, Bruce Bochy was probably a big part in this Rangers team being a lot better than they were last year. Mm-hmm. So I'm going with Bruce Bochy of the Texas Rangers.
Okay. I like the pick. Very bold.
Thank you.
Very bold.
I tried to think outside the box.
Yeah, if I did have to go a little bit outside the box, outside the dotted line, coloring a little bit outside the line, if you will, my guess, and get ready, buckle your seatbelts, fasten in. Alex Cora of the Boston Red Sox would be my
sleeper pick.
Would be my sleeper.
They can
out of the box.
They can be a very surprising team.
The Red Sox have so much potential, especially since the bar is set so low that even if they, let's just say, finish third in the American League East, you could be talking about how Alex Cora performed yet another masterclass of how good he is at managing the game of baseball for all 162 games.
That's fair. And I like it. I really do. Mm-hmm. Alex Cora. Damn.
My official pick, though, Terry Francona of the Cleveland Guardians, and you went with?
Bruce Bochy of the Texas Rangers. If I had to make a sleeper pick, I'd probably say Cora is a good one. Probably Cora. I think Brandon Hyde could also win it because I think the Orioles are going to be good again. Yeah. So, who is your NL Manager of the Year prediction?
My National League Manager of the Year prediction, again, I went a little bit chalk here. I have Buck Showalter taking home the award yet again. Okay. The New York Mets are lined up to be hopefully better, especially with the addition of Justin Verlander and Kodai Senga. Sure, they're rolling out the same lineup, but that lineup won 101 games last year. I don't see them really taking a step back. I feel like, they're still at sky's the limit. They're still at win now mode. So I'm going to say Buck Showalter.
All right. Call me crazy.
Crazy.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
But I am going with someone who's already won the Manager of the Year award.
Has he won it 3 times?
He's won it 3 times. I'm going with Bob Melvin of the San Diego Padres. Bob Melvin has such a good squad to build around.
Go ahead and show it off.
We have Bob Melvin, 3-time Manager of the Year pin already. He's already won it in the American League and the National League, Diamondbacks and the Athletics. Bob Melvin is he knows how to win Manager of the Year, and that's exactly what he's going to do this season. Bob Melvin.
Bob Melvin. I actually, in my predictions, I had him as well. In my top 3, kind of considering shuffling them all around. Bob Melvin is a great pick, especially with what could be an all-time lineup, especially after they get Fernando Tatis Jr. back.
Yeah, it's going to be an all-time lineup. And you could make the argument that, hey, this is kind of a layup because they're going to have an amazing dominant team. What is he going to possibly do? But that's just kind of how they root this award sometimes. Yeah. And I think that's what they'll do when this team surprises a lot of people. Because while, yes, I think a lot of people know they're going to win a lot of games, I think they might do even better than people think. So, Bob Melvin, go out there, do the damn thing.
All right, I liked it.
Boob Melvin.
Yes, of course.
All right. Are we ready for the next one?
Go ahead. Lead us in.
Okay. Our next award is a company award. It is called...
First one of the year.
It is called the Normal Baseball Player of the Year Award. And obviously, we are normal baseball. We want a normal player. We want a normal baseball player. So this award is going to who we think is going to have the closest to a 100 OPS plus, which is league average batting average, just everything league average. We're looking for the most average player in baseball.
Most normal player.
The most normal player.
Yep. All right.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I would love for you to lead us off here.
Oh, okay. So, I had some trouble with this.
And now, are we doing one for each league or one?
One in general.
Okay.
Just one very normal player.
All right. So I got mine. I will let you go first though.
Do you want? Oh, okay. Okay. I'll do mine first. So, my normal player is going to go to Jorge Alfaro of the Boston Red Sox. I believe he broke camp with them. Let me just double check that really quick. Make sure that he did break camp.
That would be funny if he didn't.
I would sure hope he did, because this took me a while to figure out what I thought. Oh no,
he didn't.
I don't know if he broke camp with them. He's in AAA right now. So why don't you tell yours, and I'll pick another one off the dome here.
All right, well, hurry up. Well, as long as you don't pick mine, I think mine is, I would guess, closer to one of the more normal players in baseball. I am going with sort of half utility, half second baseman player for the Toronto Blue Jays, Santiago Espinal. Last season, had a 99 OPS plus, had a batting average of .267, OPS of .692, which far from average. However, he could get it up for sure, along with a WRC plus last year of 99. So, my pick for the normal baseball award of the 2022 season, Santiago Espinal.
Okay, I like it. I think Espinal was pretty good last year, no?
He was good, but that was when you included in his defense, which certainly helped make him an all-star.
Okay. I mean, I feel like that's fair. That's fair. Santiago Espinal. If I had to, say my opinion on that, I think he might be a little better than just normal next season. So that's just my opinion.
All right.
So,
well, we'll have to wait and find out.
Okay, for me, okay, this is who I'm going with. I'm going to go with Yoan Moncada of the Chicago White Sox. We know them as the Mid-Sox, so it's only right that I pick one of their players to be technically mid this season. And I'm going with Yoan Moncada. I think he'll have, there's not much explaining to do with this award. I just think he'll be very average. I'll look at his stats from last season. And last season he had a 76 WRC plus, but the season before that he had a 120 WRC plus. If you average those two numbers out, it's pretty close to 100. So if he has a middle season like he did last season,
the White Sox are very good at producing.
Yes, exactly. If he has a very mid season for him, he'll be perfectly league average. If you look at his stuff from 2021 and 2022 and average them out, it almost brings him to league average type numbers. 263 batting average in 2021, 212 batting average in 2022. Average that out, that's around 230, right? What was league batting average last year? 235?
It's about 241.
I think I'm onto something here.
You might be onto something. You definitely might be onto something.
I think I am.
All right.
Well, yep, that's my pick.
Okay, I like it. So I went with Santiago Espinal of the Toronto Blue Jays, and Alex is going with
Yoan Moncada of the Chicago White Sox.
All right. So that is the normal. Are we calling it the normal baseball award or just the normal award?
The normal baseball player award.
Normal baseball player award. All right.
Most normal baseball player.
Of course.
All right.
Clap it up for the first award winners. preseason, by the way. They can change.
Yeah, this isn't. They didn't win.
Yeah.
They didn't win. This is our predictions,
But
obviously.
just a prediction, of course.
So, moving on, we have another company award. This one having to do with Milo.
Milo.
Normal dog.
Normal dog.
The dog in the logo right there. If you're watching on YouTube. Nope, not even close. Don't even try. But yeah, this one is basically Milo's a dog, as you may know. This one is who we think will have that dog in him this season. Who will be the biggest dog? Just go out there and do the damn thing. Do it with style. Have fun, but also be tough and aggressive and just got that dog in him.
Get after it, as they say.
Would you like me to go first?
Please do.
So my pick for the first annual Milo Got That Dog in Him award. My prediction, by the way, these we'll come back to. We just have to reiterate a bunch of times that this is a prediction.
Yes.
My pick is Jesse Winker of the Milwaukee Brewers. He had a very bad year last season with the Mariners, batting .219, but he still had a 108 WRC+, so he was still hitting pretty well, considering. But we learned that he had a lot of problems with being on the Mariners. He did not want to be there. Now he's on the Brewers. He is such a Brewer, by the way.
Totally.
And he's back in the NL Central, where he had his good years with the Reds. And I think he'll just go out there every day and play like he wants to be there. Play with that dog in him. He'll be celebrating the home runs. He'll be running hard on every play. Jesse Winker's got that dog in him. We saw it in Cincinnati, and we kind of took a gap year last season on the Mariners. We even saw it at some points when the Mariners visited the Mets. We saw that dog in him. But now is where we're going to fully get to see it, and Jesse Winker's going to shine in Milwaukee. I think he'll have that dog in him all season. I almost said season.
All right, fair enough. Who
do you think's got that dog in them?
All right, so for mine, I went a little bit even further off the beaten path than you might have with your Jesse Winker pick. I'm going with Javier Baez.
Oh.
So last year, obviously, Javier Baez might have had one of the most un-Javi-like seasons we've ever seen from him. He really struggled offensively, and the defense, especially in the beginning of the season, was not there. However, he's getting an early start to the season. He just played in the WBC. He looked pretty good. Looked good throughout spring training. And I think we're just going to see him have a bounce-back year, sort of playing with a lot of that, I have a nearly $150 million contract. I'm turning age 30 this season. He's still young. He has the potential. He has it all. And he's one of the most electric players in baseball. And when he's on, he lets you know, and he keeps it on no matter what. So give me Javier Baez.
I like
the Milo Award.
I like it. I really do. Nice.
I do.
He's just going to be a normal guy. Normal guy. I like this award, this new award. I can't wait to see who actually comes out and we determine wins it in the actual season.
Right. Javier Baez for my Milo Got That Dog in Him award.
Like it.
And Alex, who was your pick?
My pick was Jesse Winker. I thought, my bad, my fault. My pick was Jesse Winker.
All right. So where do you want to go next? Where do you want to go from here?
Where I would like to go is 2. An award, a prestigious award, that has been held by the likes of Bartolo Colon, Randy Johnson, Roger Clemens, Greg Maddux, Tom Seaver, Justin Verlander, Sandy Koufax, Pedro Martinez, Clayton Kershaw, and many more generational pitchers. It goes to the flat-out best pitcher in each respective league. It is the Cy Young Award. This last year in the American League and National League was unanimously won. In the American League, it was Justin Verlander. In the National League, it was Sandy Alcantara. And we're going to see who wins them this year. Lewis, do you want to go first with your American League Cy Young winner prediction?
All right. My American League Cy Young Award winner is going to none other than the man, the myth, the legend, the what people call the once-in-a-million years type of player, Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Angels.
Okay.
The dude simply gets it done. another guy who played in the WBC, who looked really good in his outings in the WBC, and I think he's going to hit the ground running this season. We won't see any bad starts from him, honestly. We did see them the last couple of years, which, in my opinion, has kept him out of the running for the Cy Young. However, this is the year that he's on the contract year. He's going to put it all together, and we're going to get the full-blown Shohei Ohtani experience where he goes out and wins the Cy Young.
I love the pick. I absolutely love the pick. I was drawn away because of the guy I wound up picking, but I really do like that pick. He came fourth in MVP vote, or fourth in Cy Young voting last season. Arguably should have been top 3.
Definitely should have been.
Just had an amazing season last year, and I think we'll see another amazing pitching season. He's had his amazing hitting season. He's had his amazing pitching season. It's time for both of them to combine, and he's just going to be a dominant force this entire season.
And if the Cy Young truly does go to the best pitcher, I don't know of any other pitcher that could probably hit 35-plus bombs this season.
There's only one way to find out.
Let's be... That
doesn't count.
Technicality. But it's technicality.
But it's only... No, doesn't count. It doesn't count. It's only for pitching stats. Call me a chicken? What is it like? Then he'd win it every year. No pitcher's hitting 30 home runs.
Well, Shohei Ohtani could.
Yeah, except besides Shohei Ohtani. That's my point. Okay. Do you want to know my pick for AL Cy Young?
I would love to know your pick.
My pick for American League Cy Young is Jacob deGrom of the Texas Rangers. I was hesitant. I think it's fair to be hesitant. I think anyone who says it's a dumb pick because, Jacob deGrom, he's been injury prone the last few seasons. I think that's okay. He's finally away from the Mets and he's finally away from their training and their doctors. Start. He's getting a fresh start in Texas. I think he's going to use it to his advantage, and I think he's going to be very, very good this season.
Okay.
Jacob deGrom's my pick. The last 2 seasons, if you combine them, they kind of add up to a full season, which is kind of scary again. But 26 starts between the last 2 seasons, a 2.08 ERA, 248 strikeouts in 156 innings. This guy can pitch 300, can throw 300 strikeouts. This guy can strike out 300 batters in a season. And I think with a full season, no injuries whatsoever, this can happen. We need no injuries for it to happen, but I think it's possible. He had a 650.650 whip when you combine those last 2 seasons. That is ridiculous. Well, this guy, when healthy, is the best pitcher in baseball.
Of course, and I think it's safe to say that, like Alex just said, when he's healthy, best pitcher in baseball. However, the thing that did steer me away from picking Jacob deGrom, because obviously that's one of the best picks you can make, is the health. I hope it's there. I really do, and I would love to be wrong about my Cy Young pick, but I went with Shohei Ohtani. Alex went with Jacob deGrom for the American League Cy Young Award winners this upcoming season.
Yeah, I was scared to make that pick. I really was, because
understandably,
with everything that's happened in the last couple of years with Jacob deGrom, but then you think he's got a fresh start, which is really what drove me towards it. Fresh start in Texas, having a good time.
Okay, I like it. Shall we move over to our National League picks?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want me to just backpedal and go to my National League?
Yeah, go for it.
Cy Young prediction.
Yep, go ahead and hit us with it.
For my National League Cy Young prediction, I picked a guy who unanimously won the Cy Young in 2022. I'm going South Beach Sandy Alcantara, back-to-back Cy Young awards. Last season, obviously, like I just said, unanimous Cy Young winner. Through 6 complete games, 1 complete game shutout, 2.28 ERA. He 8 innings and had dominant stuff. He threw 228 and 2/3 innings, which led baseball. And he's only 27 years old, and he's 6'5". He's a unit. He's an absolute unit. I think he's going to be dominant once again this season. South Beach Sandy, lock it in, back-to-back Cy Youngs.
All right. I like it. I can definitely understand where you're coming from. He was in my, sort of pick pool to figure out who I think would have won the National League Cy Young. However, I went with someone different.
Okay.
I went with a guy who, since he entered the league, not too long ago. He's been increasing his innings, increasing his games started and how many games he plays in. He's been lowering his ERA, and best of all, he is now becoming one of the best pitchers in the National League. I'm talking about Zach Gallen.
I like it.
Of the Arizona Diamondbacks. In the last 2 seasons, he did suffer an injury in 2021. However, he pitched 121 innings with, how many? Wait, whoa, hello. My screen just flashed back. Okay. He pitched 121 and a thirds innings with 129 strikeouts. And then in the 2022 season, he threw for a 2.5 ERA, starting 31 games, over 184 innings, and 192 strikeouts, while leading the entirety of MLB in hits per 9. Looked amazing. I think this kid is just on the up and up even more. He's still young, and there's no end in sight for him. He can just keep going, and I think that this is his year to claim the throne of National League Cy Young Award winner.
Okay, I like it. I really do like that. Good pick, Lewis. So, my NL Cy Young pick was Sandy Alcantara, however you want to say it, and yours was
Zach Gallen.
I like that. No, you can go on. Say
I was just going to say, of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I assumed. That's my fault. I didn't know you were going to say
Former teammates.
Zach Gallen is a guy who I was really high on during last season because it was kind of hard not to be. He was very, very, very good last season. I'm excited to watch him continue to progress, like you said. Just everything about him. He's got nasty stuff. I always ride with the boys down south. That's what I decided to do this time instead.
I completely understand riding with the boys down south.
All right. So, do we want to move over to the big boy? Yeah?
Go ahead.
Gotta move over to the big boy.
Let's do it.
So, this is possibly the most prestigious award in baseball, dating back to the first winners, Ty Cobb and Frank Schultz in 1911, to last year's winners, Paul Goldschmidt, and the man who broke the American League single-season home run record, Aaron Judge. Between then, it has been held by countless numbers of legends and Hall of Famers. But who will take it home this year? It is the most valuable player award, the MVP. Let's give...
Beautiful intro.
Let's give our picks.
All right.
I'm excited.
Go ahead. Do you want to start us off? Where do you want to start?
I do. So, with the AL MVP pick, I am going to go with the one, the only, Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Angels. It took a historic season from Aaron Judge, hitting 62 home runs. That's what it took to beat out Shohei Ohtani for the MVP. If Judge had 50 home runs, it would have been Ohtani's award. It feels inevitable. He had a 2.33 ERA last season while also batting .273 with 34 home runs. Just incredible. It's hard to deny that Shohei Ohtani is the front runner for this award going into every season. I don't really think there honestly is a way to deny that because it's just so beyond true when you really look at it. Shohei Ohtani. I mean, it goes without explaining. It's like he's the best player in baseball.
And considering that he is certainly on the trajectory to go down as one of the greatest baseball players of all time, simply because of how well he both hits and pitches in today's game.
Yeah.
As
no
for
one does that. No one does that.
Of course.
Unicorn. He's a unicorn. He truly is. 166 innings pitched. He learned that his splitter is insane. He developed a cutter. He leaves me speechless every time he steps on the field.
Without doubt. Without fail.
And imagine his bat gets even better this season. Imagine both his hitting and his pitching gets even better this season.
It would be insane.
It would be unstoppable, which I love and I want to see. Be unstoppable, Shohei.
Fair enough. As for my AL MVP award winner, I also went with Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Angels for all the same reasons that Alex mentioned, as well as it's simply put, it's his award to lose every year until he decides to either stop hitting or stop pitching. The dude can do it on both ends, which adds the most value to any organization that he is a part of. Of course, right now it is the Angels, but That's for in-season talk of where he will be come the trade deadline, come next season. But as of right now, he is a Los Angeles Angel, and he will provide the most value to the Angels, more than any player can provide to any other organization. Yeah. Shohei Ohtani for American League MVP.
Yeah, we didn't even mention the fact that he's a free agent after this season. Possibly the biggest free agent baseball has ever seen.
Ever.
So it's gonna be fun.
Yes, certainly. Especially if he's coming off of an MVP, as you and I predicted, and a Cy Young, as I predicted.
MVP and a Cy Young coming off those in your contract season is wild.
Wild.
Absolutely wild.
And Shohei legitimately has a very good chance to do that.
Oh, yeah. 115%.
Yep.
I would agree. So, moving on to the NL MVPs. Why are you smiling? I know who you picked already.
I'm ready.
You've publicly announced this so many times.
So many times.
Why don't you just do yours and just get it over with?
Ladies and gentlemen, my National League MVP prediction for the 2023 season is Pete Alonso of the New York Mets. There's nobody who is going to be better this season. Last year, he looked very, very good on a Mets team that was very, very good. He finished 8th in MVP voting. He had 131 RBIs, which I believe was tied for the most in baseball, while also hitting 40 homers and batting .271 with a 146 OPS plus. He looked good. He's going into his age 28 season, and in this Mets team, we know that MVP award, unless you are a Shohei Ohtani, definitely you get a lot of favoritism if your team is also winning and succeeding. Pete Alonso will be the center point of that, and that's why I think he will be the 2023 National League MVP.
Okay, I like it. I just have my only issue with it is I think Lindor, who's a guy on his own team, is going to have a better season than him. I just don't see him having that MVP type season unless, he does go on to hit like 60 home runs, which is something he could do. He's hit, 53 in a season before? But I don't know. I am high on Pete Alonso for this season. Don't get it twisted. But I still do think that we will see like a guy like Frankie Lindor have a better season. So while I'm not going to say I don't like your pick, I think there's better options. Top 3, I think it's possible. I don't see him winning it. I will say though, the amount of this you can't deny no matter who you pick. The amount of options there are for an NL MVP is just wild. Can you agree with me on that? The amount of guys who you could, if I walked up to you and said, this guy, if I come from the future, from November, when they announce this award, and I say, this guy won, there are tons of players who could be like, I could have predicted that if you gave me enough guesses. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There is just an endless amount of... Okay.
However, there's only one trophy, and that trophy will reside in Flushing, Queens, New York. It will be Pete Alonso's trophy this year. I have almost zero doubt about it.
Okay.
Who is your National League MVP?
My National League MVP is a guy you like a lot. It is a third baseman that goes by the name of Manny Machado in San Diego. I was looking at, like I said, there were so many guys who I felt like can possibly win this award that I was just looking through and I was looking at names and I was like, who do I think is going to have the best season? Just going based off gut. And my gut told me Manny Machado was going to have the best season in the National League this season. Last year, he hit 298, almost 300, with an almost 900 OPS, 898. So he was .002 away from both a 900 OPS and a 300 batting average. 32 home runs, 37 doubles, 102 RBIs, a 159 OPS plus. He plays stellar defense, as we know. He can win a Platinum Glove whatever year he wants to if he really wanted to. And he's in an incredibly good lineup, which I feel like always helps a guy wanting to win the MVP award. Of course, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that to win the MVP, you have to be on a good team, because I truly do believe that has nothing to do with it. But I think it'll help him in the sense of RBIs. There's always going to be guys on base for him. He's always going to have those opportunities to produce more and more, and he's going to be playing his heart out because he's going to be playing on a team that is one of the World Series favorites when you really look out at the World Series possibilities this season.
Yeah, for sure. I certainly get where you're coming from. If I can go ahead and show you here, go ahead and read that number 2 position on the National League MVP.
Yeah, NL MVP, you had Manny Machado slotted at number 2.
Yeah, so he was my second choice. I have been the biggest fan of Manny since 2014 when I realized that this guy could be great, and he has not proved me wrong so far that he is great. And I'm just looking forward to seeing him and Pete Alonso really battle it out this year for the MVP.
Yeah, he certainly can be great. Now the question becomes, will he be great?
Well, he's proven that he can be great. It's a matter of, will he be great enough to win an MVP after becoming runner-up to MVP last season?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yep.
Manny Machado and Pete Alonso. All our picks, really. Now,
solid.
What I want to do is a couple prop bets that we kind of just like over-unders, just like some fun stuff. I prepared a couple. Not too many, just a couple.
Okay.
So, my first one is prop bet number 1. Daniel Vogelbach, Danny Burgers, over under 0.5 steals.
Over.
That's a big over.
Over.
After that commercial of him and Buck Showalter and him saying he's going to steal a base, I'm still going under.
You're wrong.
I'm going under.
You're wrong.
I have to go under.
It's got to go over.
The only reason I have to go under is because he doesn't have a single stolen base in his entire career. Something tells me his attempts, he's never 3 inches away from being safe.
There's no time like the present. Danny Burgers might go for 4 stolen bases this season.
4? You want to lock that?
It would be really cool if I was right, so yeah.
4 stolen bases for Danny Burgers after having 0 in his career so far, since 2013.
4 stolen bases for Danny Timothy Burgers.
I'm still going 0.
You're wrong.
You can call me wrong. That's not changing my pick.
All right. What's the other one that you had prepared for us here?
My other one was Shohei Ohtani over under a 2.3 ERA and over on. Oh wait,
nice little parlay. Are you cooking up right now?
Over under a 2.3 ERA and 30 home runs. So if you think he's going,
I would say over. Over on the homers, under on the...
Yeah, that can't really be put together.
No, it would have to be parlayed. So I'm going to say under on the ERA and over on the homers. I think that we're talking about like a 2.05 ERA for Shohei this year, along with maybe 42 bombs, barring, of course, he stays healthy, which, knock on wood, I really hope he does, because baseball's a lot more fun with Shohei Ohtani in it.
Okay, fair. Shohei Ohtani. Do you have any prop bets?
The only one that I wanted to mention and really kind of dive into,
I have one more.
It would be interesting to talk about with you. Trey Turner, over under 102 RBIs, 101.5 RBIs.
I'm gonna.
He's in a Phillies lineup that looks really good. He's gonna have plenty of opportunity, but we know the Philly way of not really trying for the first half of the season. So, what do you think Trey Turner will do in his new scene in Philadelphia?
Just because I love Trey Turner so much, I'm going over. He was my pick for number 2 in the MVP spot. So, I'm going with over just because I love Trey Turner.
Okay, I'm going with under. I think the lack of Bryce Harper in that lineup is not going to lead to as many opportunities as some might think. But I do think that we will be talking about him in the high 80s, high 90s come the end of the season. I just don't think that he's going to crack that 100 mark.
Okay. I have another one, fun one. 2 fun ones actually coming up.
Okay.
Very, very much related. Over under 22.5 errors for Fernando Tatis Jr. in right field.
22.5 under. I trust Nando coming back, and I think he's going to do wonders.
Especially in the outfield. What if I lowered it to over under 17.5?
Under still.
Okay.
I think he's going to have under 11.
Now I raise you to Jazz Chisholm. Over under 22.5 errors.
I'm again going to say under, but I don't think that he is going to soar under. I think it's going to be like 16 is a healthy number, but I do think that these guys are, I do know actually, my apologies, these guys are major leaguers. They're really good at the game of baseball. I think they're going to be able to figure it out rather quickly. It would not surprise me if both of them finish with 2 at the end of the season. I put a lot of trust in both Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jazz Chisholm Jr. to succeed in their new positions this upcoming season. What about you? What do you think?
I think I'm going to go under for both because I love both the players. Kind of a biased pick, but I do love both of those players, so I'm going with under on both.
All right, I like it.
So
that was fun.
Yeah, do you have any other off the top of the dome?
No, the Trey Turner one was the one that I really wanted to talk about.
Okay, fair. So moving on, we're gonna get to our playoff predictions, kind of a normal type thing. We're going to go division by division, who we think is going to win, and we're going to say what seed we think they're going to be overall. So there's the 1 seed, the 2 seed, the 3 seed in the American League, National League, which are the division winners. Then there is the Wild Card 1, Wild Card 2, Wild Card 3.
Right, and for anyone who's unfamiliar with the new playoff bracket that the MLB implemented, both the 1 and 2 seed in each league did a bye into the American League and National League division series, whereas the 3rd seed has to play, I believe, one of the wild card teams. I believe it's the 3rd wild card team to try and advance into the divisional series, and then it's a normal bracket from there. Pretty fun format that we got last year. The Rays and the Guardians had quite the series, which was a lot of fun to watch. The Phillies and the Cardinals had a very nice series, which was, again, a shock to many and a lot of fun to watch. So let's talk about the 2023 postseason that both Alex and I have individually came up with, and we'll talk about everybody who we have in our playoff picture and who even wins the World Series.
Yep. So we'll start with the AL East, then we'll go through the AL, then we'll go through the NL, and then we'll say our World Series picks to end out the episode. The American...
Sorry.
You having fun over there?
I am.
The American League East. Who's winning it, Lewis?
For the American League East, I have the New York Yankees reigning supreme once again over the American League East. Call me biased if you want. However, this team proved that they could do it last year, and they only got better, especially on the pitching side of things. Now with a fully healthy Michael King and Carlos Rodon, who will be back sooner rather than later. And he's also ahead of schedule, and it's actually not a big of a deal, the injury that was reported to him, as we thought. So, New York Yankees reigning atop the AL East once again.
Okay. I like it. I'm also gonna. Okay, well, actually, no. We'll go through all your picks first. What seed do you think the Yankees are gonna be? 1, 2, or 3?
I had the Yankees slotted into the 2 seed behind. I mean, you can only imagine, but we'll get to it.
The AL Central. Who you got?
The AL Central. I have the Cleveland Guardians running away with this division. Actually, I genuinely think that this is what will be talked about as the biggest gap between the 1 and 2. In the divisions, I have the Minnesota Twins coming in second to the Guardians, but it would not surprise me if at the end of the season there was a 10-game plus gap between these teams.
Okay, I like it. AL, and then what seed?
I have them as the 3 seed.
Assumed. And then what about the AL West? What?
I think we both know. The Houston Astros are, without a doubt, going to run the American League West. I mean, the American League in general runs through Houston. They've showed that over the past 6 seasons, which is just crazy to think about. But I have the Houston Astros once again winning another American League West title.
I like it. Okay. Wild Card 1, who you got?
Wild Card 1, I have the Seattle Mariners. I sort of, at the beginning of me coming up with all this, I thought, could we see the Mariners go on a 2021 Giants sort of run where, sure, they just beat the hell out of everybody, just enough to squeak through, but I just don't think that this year it's going to be possible. Those Houston Astros are amazing. And by the way, the Houston Astros I have slotted in at the 1 seed, as you can imagine, and I have the Seattle Mariners as the first wild card.
Okay. I like it.
Yep.
So, wild card 2, who you got?
For the wild card, second position, I have the Toronto Blue Jays. Once again, sort of coming up short of their short-term goal of winning the American League East. I do think they're going to keep it a little bit closer. But I do have them finishing with just a little bit lower of a record than the Seattle Mariners, which slots them into the 2 seed in the wild card.
Okay.
Second wild card spot. My apologies.
Wild card spot 3. Who you got?
You ready?
I'm ready.
I have the Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
Slotted in at my third wild card spot. They certainly, especially after calling up Adley Rutschman, were one of the better teams in all of baseball, which is crazy to think about. Adley Rutschman is such a positive input into that team, as well as all the moves that they've been trying to make, as well as Gunnar Henderson. It just seems like this team is on the up and up, and I think the perfect season for them is making it to the playoffs. We've seen the Orioles and all of Baltimore pack that stadium for a playoff game, and I think that every single one of the players on that team want to experience that once again this year.
Okay. I like it. I really like that.
I do.
So now I'll go through my American League picks.
All right. So who do you have in your American League East?
I have, going back-to-back division winners, the New York Yankees.
Okay.
Back-to-back-to-back, something like that.
And now what seed do you have them in the American League standings?
I have them as the 2nd seed, same as you.
Okay. Now who do you have winning the American League Central?
Hold on to your seat. I have the Cleveland Guardians.
Okay.
Slotted in at the 3rd seed, that would be.
All right.
But yes, I have the Guardians.
So far, we're matching.
We are, and we're going to continue to match.
Yes, I can imagine. So in the American League West, that means that you have the Astros?
Astros, the 1 seed. They are the best team in baseball. It's kind of undeniable.
Yep.
So the Astros are at the 1 seed for me.
All right. And now who do you have at your first wild card spot?
We're continuing to mirror. I have the Seattle Mariners.
Oh, this is weird. We did not show each other any of our information prior to this, by the way.
You know what? No.
You already said it.
No. No. I have the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay.
I have the Toronto Blue Jays.
All right, so you have the Toronto Blue Jays as your first wild card. So who do you have as your second wild card?
The Seattle Mariners.
Okay, and your third wild card?
My third wild card, this is where it gets wild.
Well, it's the wild card.
I said it before with their manager. I'm going with the Texas Rangers to make the playoffs this year, get into that wild card spot. Like I said, I think a lot of people think, good team. Got DeGrom. Now they have Heendog, Evaldi. They made some nice moves on the pitching side. Now they just need to put it all into fruition, and it's kind of, we'll believe it when we see it. We won't bet on them. I'll bet on them. I think they're going to get into the third wild card spot.
All right. I like it. So you have the Rangers basically beating out the entire, the powerhouse that is the AL East.
Yeah, the Orioles, the Rays, the Red Sox. I think they're going to beat out those 3 teams, yes.
Okay. I like it. That's very brave of you.
I had to be bold with some of my picks because the other ones were kind of chalk,
Of course. So does this mean that we should maybe jump into our National League? Or do you want to break down each of our American League brackets first?
No, we're not doing brackets.
Okay.
No, we're not doing brackets. The NL East, who you got?
In the NL East, coming in at the 3 seed, I have the New York Mets.
Okay.
All right. I have the New York Mets finally, after I think it's the past 7 years, finally taking the division from the Atlanta Braves, which they almost did last season, had it not been for a historic Braves comeback more than a Mets failure. However, I think this is the year where the Mets put it all together and they win that division and they take the 3 seed.
Okay. And what's the 3 seed?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 2 teams being, the 2 other division winners being better than them.
Yes.
Okay, who you got in the NL Central then?
In the NL Central, my 1 seed is the St. Louis Cardinals. I think that they are lined up, barring, of course, everybody comes back healthy and plays to the potential that we know that they can. They're coming off of having a former MVP candidate, a former MVP winner in Paul Goldschmidt, a former MVP finalist in Nolan Arenado. The pitching looks good, not great. However, it could definitely get good depending on how Jack Flaherty comes back. They just called up Jordan Walker, and I think that this team is going to be firing on all cylinders from the get-go. Give me the St. Louis Cardinals in the 1 seed.
Okay. Who do you have? I'm not sure I agree with that one. 1 seed is crazy.
You got to go.
I have seen a lot of things that we'll get into this as, of course, the season progresses. A potential trade for Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Mid-season.
The
that would make them scary.
Lars Shohei Ohtani connection is really there.
They are, however, playing against their division less, which did help them out a lot last season where they only won 93 games. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see. Who you got in the NL West?
In the NL West,
As the one seed.
how the mighty have fallen. It is not the Los Angeles Dodgers. It is the San Diego Padres. As we mentioned earlier with Alex's Manny Machado little segment, this team is certainly going to be one of the most all-time lineups that you can put together. It is star talent across the board, especially when Fernando Tatis Jr. comes back. I don't think that there's a way that they lose their division this season.
Okay. Who you got in the wild card spot 1? NL wild card 1.
In the first wild card, and of course it would not be a rivalry without it, I have the Atlanta Braves getting, ever so close to the Mets, but I just don't think that they're going to be able to catch them this year. I have the Atlanta Braves in the first wild card spot.
Okay. Second wild card spot. Who you got?
The Los Angeles Dodgers. And I think it's going to be a pretty sizable gap between the Dodgers and the Padres. And I think that this is the year that the Dodgers kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit. The Padres obviously have the better team, I think, from front to back. And I think the Dodgers just simply cannot get it done this year.
Okay. And then who you got for wild card spot 3?
Wild card spot number 3 goes back to back. The Philadelphia Phillies take that final wild card spot. And we are talking about them once again going on what could be a very historic playoff run, and we will see when that playoff rolls around. If the Phillies make it, can they get hot at the right time?
Okay. Nice. So that's your NL wildcard bracket. You have the Mets at the 3rd seed, the Cardinals at the 1 seed, the Padres at the 2 seed, the Braves in NL wildcard 1, the Dodgers in NL wildcard 2, and the Phillies in NL wildcard 3.
That is what I have written down.
Shall I go?
Please do.
For my NL East winner, and who I think will be the 2 seed, I'm going with the Atlanta Braves. I've said this about the Mets winning the division for, the last couple years even. I'll believe it when I see it.
All right, I can understand that.
I'll believe it when I see it. That's the extent of what I have to say because I haven't seen it in a very long time.
It's hard to not agree with you on that.
Yeah, and many people would have said it last year.
Yep.
But again, I want to see it before I say anything. For the NL Central, at who I think is going to be the 3 seed, I also have the Cardinals, but I think the 3 seed, I don't think they'll be the 1 seed.
Okay.
The NL West, I have who I think will be the 1 seed, the San Diego Padres. Also, again, taking down the Dodgers for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
I think their team is significantly better than the Dodgers this season.
I like it. So now who do you have in your first wild card spot?
My first wild card spot, I kind of have flip-flopped the view. I have the Mets.
Okay.
Second place in the NL East. Mets make it the first wild card spot. For my second wild card spot, mirrored you, Dodgers. Same with my third wild card spot. I have the Phillies. So both of us have
the same team.
The same playoffs as last season. Just different
orders.
Different standings.
Different division champions, which is a lot of fun.
Different seeding, same teams. So kind of a rematch almost.
Almost.
Which is going to be fun to watch.
Throw on the gloves. Round 2 is here. I'm in for it.
That being said, what is your World Series prediction for this year?
Okay, let me
breathe. The floor is yours.
Let me take this in, because I know that this will be all over the internet when I am eventually correct. Oh my god. Okay, can you go first?
No.
Oh my god. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I have the St. Louis Cardinals beating the Cleveland Guardians in the World Series in 7 games. I will see you guys at the end of the season with that prediction.
Yeah, okay.
I think that this is the Cardinals' year to put it all together. I think the Guardians get sort of a lucky run in the playoffs. The Astros could get knocked off in the divisional series, just depending on what's going on there. And I think the Guardians kind of make the most of their opportunity and make it to the World Series. However, I do have them losing to the eventual champions in my mind, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay, I like it. I do like it. Do I agree? No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Of course.
I think there is no shot.
Outside of St. Louis, Missouri, I don't think anyone agrees with me.
Well, I'm not. The Cardinals isn't my issue. My issue is the Guardians are no chance beating the Astros in a 7-game series.
I didn't say that the Guardians would beat the Astros.
True.
I said they would get lucky and someone else would.
True, but my philosophy is the AL runs through the Astros. They'll be in that ALCS no matter who they're facing.
We'll have to see.
That's my philosophy.
We'll have to see.
Okay. Wow. Cardinals over the Guardians in
7 games. And it would be, we're talking some of the most electrifying 7 games I think we could ever watch. We have the young and up-and-coming Guardians team that everyone said, oh, they're a year away from being a year away. Oh, all they did was bring in Josh Bell. You know, their starting pitching can only take them so far. And they put it all together, and they get it done. And they're going up against the Cardinals, who have some of the most established superstars in the game. The former NL MVP in Paul Goldschmidt, the MVP finalist in Nolan Arenado, and some of the younger guys like Tyler O'Neill, Lars Nootbaar, you know, and like you mentioned earlier, which may or may not be a part of why I picked the St. Louis Cardinals. They could cook up a trade for Shohei Ohtani.
They could. They have the utilities.
They do.
But that would mean getting rid of some of the guys.
I think that if there's a will, there's a way, and it would not surprise me if the St. Louis Cardinals beat the Cleveland Guardians in a 7-game series to win the World Series this upcoming season.
Okay. Would you like my World Series prediction?
I would love to hear it.
Can you intro me? I just need to get hyped.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex, Normal Dog, is going to be giving us his World Series prediction for the 2023 season. Alex, who do you think is coming out of the American League?
Not coming out of the American League.
Yeah, well, we're going to go one by one. I think that you wanted a hype.
No.
Okay. So who do you have in your World Series, and who do you have winning it?
My World Series prediction for the 2023 MLB season is the Houston Astros over the San Diego Padres in 6 games.
You went chalk.
You couldn't let me...
You went chalk.
I'm going to try that again.
Okay.
The Houston Astros over the San Diego Padres in 6 games. Yes, I went chalk, but I do truly think that's what's going to happen. When you look at the last couple years, you know, we've had like Braves, Astros, which like, yes, was also somewhat chalk. Not fully chalk, I'd argue. Not too many people thought the Braves. A lot of people thought Dodgers. Last season, you had this Cinderella story of the Phillies going to play the Astros. Yes, they lost. I think it's time for a chalk year. We're due for a chalk year. 2019, we had the Nationals. Who would have thought? 2020, we had the Rays. Who would have thought? We're due for a chalk year. 1 seed, at least for my bracket. 1 seed. 2 best teams. Just 2 absolute monsters of teams. And I think the Astros are just so much of a better team and the best team in baseball, especially when their pitching is clicking. With guys like Framber and Urquidy and Javier, just all of their guys. Hunter Brown, if he can come in and be that stud that we saw last season at points. They are so much better of a team than any other team in baseball. 6 games, Astros over the Padres.
Okay. Chalk, but I think that would be a very, very fun 6-game series, to say the least. Especially if both teams are completely healthy. Could be one of the best World Series matchups of all time.
Could be. Well, that is it for our MLB season predictions. If you're watching it the day we upload it, it's currently opening day. Yep. Opening day is finally here.
Thank God.
So excited. Thank the Lord. It's about time. And we thank you guys again for joining us. And hopefully you guys choose to join us all season long, while we continue to keep you updated on everything. So that is it for this episode. We love you guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share if you enjoyed. And we will see you guys in our first series update of the season. Peace.